Follett. Congratulations on your honorary degree from
Thank
Warwick
you.
University. Could I ask you to just say a few words about how you're feeling about the degree and what it means to you?
Well, it's a great honour, and when you've done something and you've had success, it's kind of pleasing when somebody recognises it and says, "Oh yes, he's achieved that." I'm going to be 70 this year, and it's a moment in life for looking back and saying, "Well, what have I actually done?" And I feel a great sense of validation with an honour such as this.
You've received so many awards, you've written bestsellers, and you've received a great deal of commercial success for your writing. That sense of validation from the academic award, is that a separate thing?
It is a separate thing. I mean, the most important thing to me is that when people read my book, they post on Facebook, or they tweet, or they send me emails or letters saying, "I really loved this book, I couldn't put it down." That's what I'm all about. That's what I'm trying to achieve. But it's also nice, and it's a different kind of satisfaction when somebody says, "Actually, this chap is quite outstanding in this field."
Thinking back to your own university days, you studied philosophy at UCL. These days we hear a lot of pressure on students to choose a vocational degree, something that leads to a very practical profession or career. What did you get from studying philosophy, and would you recommend it to a student today?
Well, yes, I would, because you see, I think it's a mistake to think that you need to study a vocational subject. I feel that what we're doing in our formal education is learning how to learn. And that's the most important skill, because we know that the work that you do and the skill that you deploy when you're 25 is going to be different from the skill you're going to need when you're 45. That's the way the world is now. So the most important quality you need is the ability to learn and relearn all through life. Most people graduate and then find themselves confronted with the need to learn some skills that have some commercial value. You don't need to think about that beforehand. After I graduated, I did a 3-month course in journalism, after which I became a reporter on the South Wales Echo. And that's fine. I approached that 3-month course was a doddle, because I had spent my life learning, and learning came natural to me, and that's the most important thing to have. So I would say, don't be seduced by the idea that you must have a vocational degree. So long as you keep developing your cognitive skills, then you'll have something that's actually more precious than simply the ability to do a particular job.
Thank you. You've also spoken about the importance of learning to do something badly, or enjoying doing something badly. In your own case, that you enjoy playing music but don't feel the need to excel at it. Should students make time to do things that they enjoy, as well as to do things that will stand them in good stead for the future?
Yes, I certainly think so. I'm an A-type personality. I'm an overachiever. My tendency is to want to be the best in the world at whatever I take up, and that, of course, that's a doomed enterprise. So I think it's important to say that, look, I play bass guitar in a blues band. My aim is to be barely adequate. I enjoy it. I love the blues. I love playing with a band. I love the banter with the guys in the band and girls in the band. And the fact that I'm not a virtuoso doesn't matter. I can play adequately. The band sounds good. We respect the music, and we respect the composers and artists who created the blues. But I don't have to be that good. I can just, so long as I can go thump, thump, thump in the background, I'm having a good time, the audience are dancing, and I don't need to be best in the world. Yeah, I think that's relaxation for me.
You've sold more than 160 million books, you've written more than 30 books, and you've been a #1 bestseller across the world. Where's your motivation for carrying writing? Is it that competition that you've referred to there, your competitive nature, or are there more stories that you want to tell?
I don't know. I get up in the morning and the first thing I think about is the next scene in the book, what I'm going to write. And I'm eager, I find myself eager to get to my desk and get on with it. And I'm thinking, I know what I could do. I could do this and this, and this would make it better, and I could have this surprise in the middle of the scene. And, you know, there isn't anything else that I want to do. When I go to hell, they'll make me play golf. But what I do is completely absorbing. It's still challenging. I've been doing it for a long time, but it's still difficult to write a book that will enchant people. People will get so involved in that they will be actually disappointed when their plane lands and they have to close the book. That's my aim, and that's not easy, even when you've been doing it for 40 years. So it's a challenge, and it's something that seems to occupy the forefront of my mind most hours of the day, and the idea of not doing it appalls me.
You have given time to charities involved in literacy and in tackling dyslexia. Is that part of a motivation to share your own love of words and reading, or does it come from a feeling of giving back?
Well, it's mainly a political thing. You know, I joined the Labour Party after graduating, when I got my first job. Joined the Labour Party in a trade union, and I've always felt a need to. I've always felt that we as a country had a need to give better opportunities to the poorest and most disadvantaged among us. And one of the things that can absolutely ruin a person's life is being unable to read. There are a lot of illiterate adults in our country, and they face terrific difficulties. And I think it's very important to help them, and to help children who are having difficulty learning to read. It's not, this of course is not about reading novels. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're an illiterate person in Britain today, the least of his or her problems is that he can't read my books. The problem is that he or she can't read the menu in the restaurant and the instructions on the bottle of medicine, mm-hmm. and all of that, and the map and everything, all the road signs and the signs in the tube station. You know, these are the problems, these are the difficulties that people face. And it seems to me one of the best things you can do, if you want to help people who are struggling, one of the best things you can do is take people who can't read or struggle to read and give them a leg up. So I was president of the Dyslexia Institute, which then became Dyslexia Action, which is a great charity for helping dyslexic people. And I was also chair of the National Year of Reading in 1998 to 99, which wanted to give the message that if you read for pleasure, you're also developing important skills that you can't really do without. And I was very happy to do that. David Blunkett was Secretary of State for Education at the time, and it was his idea. And it was a joint enterprise between the world of books and publishing and newspapers and the world of politics and government. And I think we did some good, although I must say we didn't do a tenth of the good that J.K. Rowling did by writing the Harry Potter books. You know, the best way to encourage people to read is to give them great novels.
And just as a final thought, if you had to give some words of encouragement to the students who are graduating today, is there anything that you would want them to take forward or into the next part of their lives?
Well, I suppose I'd say, look, be pleased with yourself. You're entitled. You worked hard. You passed your exams, and of course, this is only the start. What you've done is you've come to the starting line, and now the rest of your life is beginning, and good luck.
Thank you very much, Mr. Follett. Enjoy your day.